We are recording. Okay, so Shelby and I got to go to church together today, which was incredible. Her church is like amazing. And there was so much. I don't know if Shelby got the same amount out of it as I did because I feel like the preacher was actually just talking to me, like literally just like slapping me back and forth like the entire time. And I was like, what is happening right now? But it was exactly what I needed. I should have said pastor. I don't know. And preacher, pastor, same thing. I don't know.
Okay. Just, yeah.
It's fine. So what he was talking about was actually like financial um not financial freedom. Shelby, help me out here. It was like
Financial
financial
legacy.
rules. Well,
Legacy.
legacy, financial legacy. And I took a bunch of notes because it like really spoke to me. So the first thing that he talked about was be patient with your dreams. Okay. So this not only smacked me in the face, but it was like, hey, remember that one time you're like, we're all diamonds and above here, so we can talk about it, right? Like, remember that one time where you lost rank and you lost rank for like 3, 4 months, and you also are feeling like everything's falling and nothing's gonna be better, and like you're supposed to be ambassador and you're supposed to be making like $50,000 a month, and like all these goals and things that you had aren't happening. Whoa, be patient. Be patient with your dreams because in order to do all of those things, we have to go through other things, right? And so one thing that really checked me, and I'll probably get through this when I get to more of my notes, but like or actually the next one is be faithful where you are, and this is my point. So like I am not being faithful where I'm at. Okay. And the number one thing that I can relate this to is when my little brother was in his car accident. Okay. I legit was on my knees for hours a day praying to God, asking him if he could get him out of this. I would serve him for the rest of my life, literally bargaining, sitting there like praying, like, if you could just do this, then I will do this. And I will just, all of these things, like help him and be with him and like all this stuff. I've never prayed so hard in my entire life. Not only was I praying for my brother, but I started praying for like all aspects of my life, my business, my marriage, my this, my that, being a mom, like all of these things started coming to fruition. And I was thinking to myself, like, I remember when we were going triple in prez, and presidential was not actually my goal. Okay. And I don't know if Shelby wants to talk about this too, but like presidential wasn't my goal. I mean, like it was amazing that it happened. Don't get me wrong. And I wasn't going to stop and like slow down that momentum. Excuse me. But triple was my goal. And that month that we hit triple, it was all because I was honoring God in everything that I was doing. I was putting him first in my mornings. We were doing devotionals every single day with our team. We were like carving out time for him. We were praying for him. I used to go in my room, shut the door the second that like Huntley went down for a nap. I would go in my room, shut the door, hit my knees and pray on my bed, like leaning on my bed. I would pray and pray and pray. I would pray over my charts. I would put my hands on my charts. I don't remember the last time I did that, you guys. Like, yet, guess what? Oh, why'd you lose rank, Rochelle? Like, I stopped praising him when he gave me everything. And I'll be the first one to admit that. I'll be the first one to admit that. And that was a hard hit. That was like slap, slap, slap. Like you're terrible, Rochelle. Like step out of it. Like why snap out of it? Like why in the heck were you praising God at your worst? And then everything came to fruition and you got blessed so much because of what I was doing. It wasn't because I was working my business hard. It wasn't because I was staying up late and like doing all of these things. It was because I was pouring into others. It was because I was speaking God's word to others. It's because I was in the Bible. It's because I was praying. It's because I was putting him first and I was doing good things first. And one, Shelby, I'll let you talk right after this point because I just want to get the main points that like really spoke to me today. Work as hard for others as you would for yourself. I'm going to repeat that so you guys can hear this. Work as hard for others, okay, think teammates, as you would for yourself. When was the last time that you worked harder than you do for yourself for somebody else? Think of somebody on your team right now, because this is where it put me into perspective. Think of somebody on your team right now that needs, and I don't mean like could like use an extra $500 a month. I mean like getting evicted, can't even afford milk. Think of somebody on your team. How hard are you going to work for them? whoa, what chills. Like I felt like I got gut punched. I looked over at Shelby. I was like, is he talking to us? Like, is he like only talking to us right now? Like, I don't know if you were feeling the same way, but I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, there's nobody else in this room right now. And it just was everything that I needed to get like hit back into fruition, and, or I don't even know what the right word is, like hit back into like reality, I guess. And you guys might not have gone through this yet. Maybe Shelby has, maybe a couple others on this have gone through this yet. But when you surpass a certain amount of money that maybe you're making, like when we hit presidential, I made like 1 year's salary in 1 month, just about, literally in 1 month, 1 or 2 months, right? So when you get to that point, and for me, it was like a blessing, right? It was like, here you're being blessed because you've been following me, right? And this is what the pastor was talking about. I'm giving you this because you've been faithful. Okay. When did I stop being faithful? And it wasn't like a decision. Like I didn't just wake up one day and be like, "Yay, I'm a pres now. Like I'm good. You can go help other people. Like I'm good over here. I'll just be like holding down the fort," because like it wasn't like a decision. It was just small little things that happened every single day that got me further and further and further from my goals, further from my team, further from my God, further from, you know what I'm saying? Like just little things that just were like spiraling out of control. Because when we lost rank, which was 3 months ago, 3 months ago, I believe. I think this was the third month. I lost a part of me. Okay. And I'm going to reference one book really quickly. Shelby, what book are we reading?
The Last Arrow.
The Last Arrow. He says in there that if you, oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher it. I hope I don't butcher it. If you are like labeling success, if you're labeling success as your identity, then when you fail, you'll lose yourself. Does that make sense? Like if your success is your identity, like I'm nobody if I'm not successful, right? That if that's what you're thinking, like I'm nobody unless I am pres or ambassador or triple or double or diamond, whatever. Like if you are you because you're successful, then when you fail, you'll lose yourself. Do you guys hear me when I'm saying that? That's literally what he said. I was running and I was hearing this and I literally just started to bawl my eyes out because I was like, this is what it felt like when I lost rank. And I know a lot of you can relate. I know a lot of you can relate. The second that happens, it's like my life's over. I just like your team goes away. You know what I mean? Like you're not thinking about your team. You're not thinking about God. You're not. And if you are thinking about God, you're like, why'd you let this happen? Do you know what I mean? You guys ever blame him? You guys ever blame other people, blame your team, blame your God, blame your mom, your kids, whatever. Like that's the first thing that we start to do. And when we do that, it's because we have to grow. We have to learn. Like so that when that stuff happens, we can start to look back on it and go, okay, wait. Why did this happen? Was I the best that I could be? Was I working for others as hard as I worked for my own business? Was I showing up for my team? Was I doing this? Was I doing that? Like all of these things. And if I would have been strong enough or in that level of growth at that time, when I lost pres for the first month, if I would have been at that level of growth, I bet your butt I would have been back to pres the next month instead of wallowing in it and being like, I failed, my life's over, I can't believe I let this happen, what did I do wrong? Like all of these things. And I know some of you can relate to this because I've had conversations with you guys about this, you know what I mean? But it's a matter of like, where do we go from here? Like, what are we going to do about it? Because every single day we can be upset about the fact that our team's crumbled, or every single day we can be upset about the fact that somebody went to some other company, or it's what we're focusing on, right? We just did that growth Zoom on Tuesday, and it was like, where you're focusing is what grows. So what are you focusing on? Again, I'll be the first one to admit I've been focusing on things falling, and not in like a negative way. It's not like I've been like, oh, the sky's falling, like everything's going to crash and burn. It's just, it's really easy for us to be like, okay, well, my volume's lower than it was last month, or my volume isn't as where it needs to be for this goal or whatever. And when you do that, now you're bringing that into light. Okay. Because your focus isn't on the right thing. Your focus needs to be on what needs to be done to fix where we're at. right? What needs to be done? What list do I need to write out? What things need to be put in motion? Do you know what I'm saying? I'll gather my thoughts, Shelby, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I have a couple of things to add just to everything you were saying, so it might be all over the place. But so we're reading the book The Last Arrow. Rochelle just finished it, and I'm towards the end because it was literally so good. Like neither of us can put it down. And when I say reading, you guys all know we mean listening. But I was actually just listening to it before we jumped on here, and one quote that he said that I was like, oh, that's good. I got to write that down. It goes so much with what Rochelle just said, and it's quit waiting for good things to happen and make good things happen. And I think so much of that goes along with not so much of it, all of it goes along with your mindset. And I posted that Pam Souter podcast in the chat earlier this week. And if you guys didn't listen to that, you have to listen to it. It's so good. And it's about your money mindset. But I think really it's all just about your mindset in general. And like, in my opinion, what I got out of it was like, it was very money focused, but it was just like mindset in general. And if you're constantly worried about your paycheck and how it's dropping and how like you're gonna have to go back to work and like all these things, that's a scarcity mindset instead of an abundance mindset. And our brains are wired a certain way to where we have to make our brains believe what we want and need to believe. So if you're worried about going back to work or making a paycheck that's less than, or your team leaving or falling apart and crumbling or whatever, you're telling your brain that that's what's going to happen. So don't be mad or sad or upset or, depressed when your paycheck is low, because you told yourself your paycheck was going to be low, and then therefore your brain said it's going to be low, so you didn't do the work necessary, and it's all a scarcity mindset. But if you have an abundance mindset and you are asking for the abundance and you're telling yourself it's going to happen, like, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be a second where you might think something like, like I haven't signed a distributor yet this month, and I'm like, oh God, Phil's gonna have to go back to work. And it's like, no, stop it. Even Phil's like, you shut your mouth. But like when you have that scarcity comes. But when you have that abundance will come. So you have to have that abundance mindset. And beyond the mindset, you have to go do, you guys. And I know it's hard when it feels like everything's not all happening right now. Some of you might be like, my business is great, so I don't know what you're talking about. But if you feel stuck, or you feel just in a bad place, or you feel like you're dragging your whole team behind you or whatever, quit waiting for the good things to happen and go make the good things happen. Okay. So that's just kind of like the what I have gotten out of recently is that money mindset podcast was everything that I needed. And I know I shared it with all of you guys. I know Ashley's been messaging me like every day about it. She's like, okay, I've been journaling every day, because it's your thoughts. It's your everyday thoughts. So if you start your day journaling with affirmations of who you are, what you are, and why you're worthy, and all this stuff, then you're going to start to see those things be real. So when you write down that you're a distributor signing machine every single day for 21 days or 38 days, or I don't even know, however many days, it's going to start to happen. Okay. And then the one thing, Rochelle, what was that bullet point that was like, is it be faithful where you are, or be
yes, it's Luke 16:12. If you're not faithful, oh wait, JK, this is not the right verse. But yeah, be faithful where you are is the bullet point that he gave. The Luke 16:12 was, if you're not faithful with others' things, why would you be faithful with your own? Which
Yeah.
again, you can bring that into team as well. Like if you're not faithful with your team's organization, you're not faithful to your team, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like then you're not going to be or you're not going to get abundance for yourself. This needs to be all about others. And I remember that shift in my business when it became about others. And for me, it was Double Diamond. I didn't need anything more than Double Diamond. Till this day, Brian and I can both pay our bills with Double Diamond Pay. That's it. Like Double Diamond is good to go. So when I get like frustrated or sad or upset about my Prez, or like, going down to triple and getting that triple paycheck, like I'm not upset because of that paycheck that I'm getting. I'm not upset because of the amount. Like I can pay all my bills, you guys. This is what I want you guys to understand. I'm not trying to brag about this. Like it is still way more money than we could ever even imagine, right? But when I lose rank and I go down, that means that my diamonds underneath me may have lost rank too. That means that my doubles may have lost rank too. That means that my rubies that need to pay their credit card bill or need to put food on the table for their kids might be struggling. So, yeah, we're good with the triple paycheck. Okay. It's not about that. And that's what you guys have to see is that I haven't been over here like wallowing that I lost rank. Boo hoo, rank's rank. It's about the paycheck, right? It's about money. But it's when others don't see that vision. It's when you have to really dig down in a place where you might not actually be at the best of the best, right? Because you're sitting here trying to figure out what happened. When were we, doing our best? What was I doing when we were doing our best? Like all these things. You're trying to figure out all this stuff. And then you're also trying to pour into your team and tell the rubies and the diamonds and the double diamonds and the triples to like, no, stick with this, like keep that vision, like keep going. Even though I'm doing okay, the people on our team, that's where our focus needs to be. And I think that I lost track of that. I think not in a bad way, but I think it was like, oh, she's got this. Like even you guys on this call, like, oh, they've got this. Like they can do this because they see the vision, they're lifers, but stuff happens. I lost rank at diamond down to executive and I just about quit. You know what I mean? But like if I hadn't have gone through that and I hadn't have promoted to double and triple and prez, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys that life goes on and it will get better. And I'm happy that that happened. I am. You don't see it. You don't see it in time. You know what I mean? Okay, mark my words. This is recording. Next year, when we're ambassador, Shelby, we're going to look back and be thankful for this time right now. We are, because we're learning. We're learning in this. We're going to be an ambassador team eventually. It might not be, the rubies and executives and maybe some of the diamonds. It might not be everybody coming with us, but let me tell you something. Like we're going to find those people that need this and we're going to take them. And that was what happened when I lost rank from diamond to executive. Was I built a whole new team with all of you that are sitting on here. I built it with the people who wanted it. I built it with the people who wanted to run and needed this business. And you're still here today pushing. And I'm here to tell you that when that happens, keep going. Like Shelby said, make the good happen. The only difference that happened between me wanting to quit and me knowing that I needed to do this was a catastrophic event in my life that woke me the hell up, that I firmly believe was God saying, hey, hi, this business that you're about to quit and like go back to work because you think you failed. It's not about you. It's about your family over here that needs you and your finances right now. You know what I mean? Like it's about this. And then I was like, whoa, it's not only about my family, but it's also about the baby that I was carrying. It's not only about that baby, but it's also about all these girls that are trusting me to lead them through this. So you might look at your downline and you might say, nobody's working right now. Okay. Look through it again. Look through your tree viewer. Who is signing? Because that newbie that just signed one customer, reach out to her. Think that she will be a diamond in 30 days. Believe that she has what it takes to be a diamond in 30 days. Because again, I'll be the first one to admit, people join and I'm like, we'll see what you got, girl. Like, we'll just see, like, if you get your first 4, then we'll talk about Ruby. Why do we limit it? Why do we limit them? Why do we limit them? Right? You guys do that? I do that all the time where I'm like, let's just see what you can do first. And then like, oh, she's doing good, so I'm going to go with her. think about all the people that we miss that just need some more guidance. Jess is probably the perfect example because she's a green and she's not going to start working until she knows absolutely everything about this. And if I would have said, oh, like, we'll just see what you do. It might, well, she got her first 4 like right away. But my point is, like, they might need to know the information. They might need to know that before they can start. So you give them the information, but here, not even the information, give them your belief. Give them your belief that you believe that they can do this business, because sometimes that's all it takes is somebody to believe in them, because they might start and be like, yeah, this was the biggest mistake in the entire world and I don't think I can do this. And then just you saying like, I believe in you is everything that they need. And they go Ruby in 30, they go Ruby in 30 days and then Diamond in 60. I've watched it happen, you guys, but that shift of you believing in people, even when it's hard for us to do, because that's hard, right? What's hard for me is like, you'll see somebody, and again, what time is it? Okay, we have like 3 minutes left. What's hard for me is I'll see somebody do really well and like right out of the gate, right? And then we're talking every day, everything's great, they're doing so well. And then like maybe they don't sign a customer in a week because they've been doing so well in their warm market. They don't sign a customer for a week and all of a sudden they think they're terrible at it and they want to quit, right? And then we get discouraged. Like, oh man, I thought I finally had my runner. I thought she was going to go diamond. I thought she was going to go double. Like, I thought this girl was it. And she doesn't sign somebody in a week. And now she's discouraged. And now we're discouraged. And now we kind of are just like, well, come to me when you need me. No, that is when we have to be like, listen, there have been months. Y'all, I haven't signed a distributor or a customer this entire month. And it kind of makes me want to puke saying that out loud. But that is the truth. I'm sweating right now because I just told you guys that. But listen, Rochelle Coakley has been working her butt off all freaking month, and I have not signed a customer or a distributor. That's okay. Okay, I'm working on being okay with it. I'm working on not sweating when I say it out loud. But my point is that like we just need to believe in our newbies. We need to put that fire in them, and we need to not give up on them at the first sign of them giving up on themselves. Because again, it's so easy for me to do. Like, whoop, lost another one because a Ruby paycheck was $250 and not $500. Like, bye. How common is that? Right? But instead, let's tell them, hey, listen, these fast starts are also included. And before they get their paycheck, y'all, you want to know how to stop losing rubies because of that average? Start being honest with them. Start straight up saying, listen, before you open those commissions tomorrow, I just want you to know I'm so proud of you. You hit Ruby, like so excited for you. The average Ruby is $500 a month. That includes your fast starts. So your paycheck may be a little bit lower than you were expecting, but remember those fast starts. If they didn't have any fast starts, encourage them to get the fast starts. Okay, maybe they didn't get those 3 distributors to go Ruby, but let's get 3 distributors after this paycheck. We still got 15 days. Let's get 3 distributors and we'll make that 500 that you were looking for. That's how you find the people who truly want to run with you. You just have to believe in them. And that's something I've been really lacking. So, Shelbs, anything to add before we move over to Ruby?
No, that was so good. I loved the thing that you said about, what'd you say? Oh, when you were like, I've lost rank for the last 3 months, or I haven't got rank back for the last 3 months. And although it sucks, just like, pride wise, I guess you could say like, oh, I lost rank, but it doesn't really matter for you because you're good. Like you paid your bills. And then you said, but like, because I lost rank, that means that people below me lost rank. And for them, it does matter. And I was like, oh gosh, like, I don't know why it took you to say that just now for it to really click for me that it's like, it's not about us. And like, I know that, but like, wow, that I needed to hear that. Cause it was like, wow, okay, so who's down there? And that even sounds horrible to say, like, I don't even know who's down there. I do, but you guys know what I mean? Like, who's down there that just went from being able to pay their car payment to not, or being able to do this and not being able to now. So that's for me like a huge aha right now, where I'm like, that's not going to happen this month.
That was something. Oh, go ahead.
Were to mean like, I don't get my rank back because I'm placing under people who it's gonna like means so
benefit,
much more,
need. Yeah. Yeah. I learned that, or I got that from the message that Rachel Jones did last month in our VIP page. Rachel Jones, she's a presidential, no, she's ambassador, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's ambassador. Yeah. She basically talked about, her business and like was super raw and open about it. And for me, what I got out of her message was that, if we lose rank, that doesn't mean that we lose it. It means that like other people below us lose it. And that was so huge for me, because I realized that she said that she got on a call with her lifers. Okay, so that's you guys, right? She got on a call with her lifers and she was like, this sucks. Like, can we just talk about this? Like, because it's not talked about enough. Like, this blows. We lost rank. We're struggling. What are we going to do? Let's stop the complaining. Let's stop the negative mindsets. How do we fix this? What do we do? And they were all in. And that's something that I've really wanted to do with you guys too. And honestly, I'll be honest, I don't know how to do it. It's not that I'm like afraid to do it. I just didn't know how to really address it. Like, what do we do? How do we get out of this? And I think that it starts with just the fundamentals that we've been talking about on this call. And I think we're late for the Ruby meeting, but basically just, taking all of this into account, and we can carry this on next week, but just knowing that, like, are you working as hard for others as you are for yourself? Are you making sure that you're putting your team first, and forget, because when you start to struggle, you guys, it becomes all about you. It's just, that's just how it is, right? It comes, well, I'm not going to pay my bills, right? It becomes about you. But really try to make it about others, because when you make it about others, that's when the blessings and abundance start to come, because you're going to do the work anyway. You got to do it anyway. But why not do it for other people? And that way the abundance comes even faster. So hopefully this was good for you guys. I'm going to stop the recording.